What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys an interesting video. Now, I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. This is Monday, so I'm hoping everyone had a great barbecue. I had a good one yesterday. Weekend's been pretty good, minus the fact I have a huge old kink in my neck. Like, huge. It's so annoying. But this is how to stop retail theft. 4 easy tips for companies and anyone else who's going to have a company or a business to make sure that you stay open and stay afloat and don't end up like some other ones, kind of like, Walmart at the moment, or, Target or Budweiser or a few other companies that are not putting their actual customer base to heart, right? So, retail theft and how it's causing places like Walmart to shut down, and how Walmart's not being truly forthwith on why it's shutting down so many stores in so many different locations. One of which, of course, Chicago. And I brought this up in a previous video. Now, in Chicago, there is a lady who sat there, was crying while recording this video and showing her local Walmart on how it was destroyed and how fruits and vegetables were all over the place. So it's on the ground, destroyed. Whole aisles just destroyed, knocked over, food and shit everywhere. All the clothes stolen for the most part. Anything that you can sell and make money off of, gone. So anyone who's saying, "Oh well, they were stealing to survive," no, because most of the food was untouched. Matter of fact, actually, most of the food was destroyed. It doesn't seem like people, stealing to survive. Because I've seen people who steal to survive, and those are people who literally steal food. And in my opinion, that's one of the least thefts that I even care about when it comes to something. Because you can look at someone and go, "Yeah, they're stealing that because they're hungry." But when they're going in to like a Lululemon to steal nothing but Lululemon style clothing, do you really think they're gonna eat that? No. Or how about Walmart when they're stealing TVs, or, game systems or video games, or, car batteries or whatever else that they're be stealing from these Walmarts, right? Do you think they're eating that? No, they're not. They are going on the streets in Los Angeles. They literally have areas where they're just selling it on the streets for drug money, for money, period. Because they're like, hey, Walmart's doing it. We'll just steal their stuff, get it for free. We'll go out on the street, sell a $20 whatever for $10. Boom! I'm gonna go buy me some crack. Literally. So, how you stop retail theft? One, DAs, stop being lazy and start doing your jobs. Stop allowing these people who are continuously doing the same thing over and over again, retail theft, being violent, shooting up people, shooting up stores, shooting up people's homes, all that other stuff, right? Stop allowing it to happen. Throw them in prison. Stop playing softball with these people. And if you have a DA who's refusing to do their job and throw people in prison who are clearly supposed to be in prison or in jail, that DA needs to be removed. Okay? 2, allow cops to do their jobs. And I do mean allow them to actually go to a scene, arrest someone, take them to jail, and then not make it to the point to where they just let them out. Case in point, I worked for a company that, legit, like as soon as we arrest someone, the cops would come in, they'd do their paperwork, we'd give them our paperwork, we'd do the whole exchange thing, and literally on camera, I've got this on camera several different times. The police would put the person in the back of their car, they'd be scribbling whatever on their notepad, all that other kind of stuff, and then they would literally walk to the other side of the car, let them out, watch them walk up to the bus stop and get on the bus. And we would see that person the next day or a couple hours later. It happened so often. So often. Because, of course, police, have standing orders that they have to follow. And now I'm not going to blame a cop for, doing their job, following their rules because they need to pay their bills. They need to feed their families. I get it. Because it was the same thing. I had to follow policy of companies that I didn't necessarily agree with, but because I needed to feed my family, I needed to pay my bills, that was more important. But I was definitely one of those people that shared my opinion on it and verbally and also wrote to the company and said, this needs to change because it's just going to get worse and locations are going to shut down and people are going to lose their jobs. And that's not going to be good for the company or for the customer. And eventually, the company is just going to lose out so much to the point to where they go bankrupt and they're gone. You know what I mean? So there's number two. Okay, allow cops to do their jobs. Okay, now another one: allow retail workers to defend themselves when need be. I'm not saying, oh hey, a retail worker is talking trash to somebody, a customer or whatever, and then gets into a physical altercation. No, 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 no. What I mean is, let's say, someone comes in and they're destroying the store, and security or even just an average everyday employee, whether they're apparel, whether they're, out in the back in bakery, over in deli, it does not matter. If they go out and literally say, hey guys, why are you doing this? We have to clean this up. This does not affect anybody other than the people who work here and the people who shop here. Why are you doing this? Right? If they don't try to like start a fist fight, but yet they're defending themselves, and let me be clear, a company says that you're allowed to defend yourself, but as soon as you do, you are going to be let go. You will be fired. I've seen it time and time again because every company has a zero tolerance policy for violence, whether it be an associate who started a fight with you, because I've seen that happen, to where, like, case in point, I'm not going to give no names or of anything, but when I was working as security, we had to do an internal investigation on, two people. One started a fight in the back of the store. Luckily, it happened on camera, but it didn't matter. One started the fight, the other one ended it. They both lost their job. And in my opinion, that's wrong. Same thing. A young man came into work to pick up his check. It was his day off. He wasn't supposed to work or anything. Someone assaults him twice, bumps into him, and then starts swinging at him. Young man hits him once. Only once. That was it. He comes into the next day, he's fired. He wasn't called, he wasn't informed, he wasn't put on administrative leave, nothing. Fired. Because he made the company look bad. You know what makes the company look bad? Getting rid of good associates because of shitty customers. And I can't even say customers because the person who actually assaulted that young man was a thief. That person was being kicked out of the store because they got caught stealing. And now, change the subject. What if that young man was not an associate but a customer and was assaulted? That makes the store look bad when the store doesn't do anything to stop it. Now, how do you stop it? One, allowing your associates to actually defend themselves, not sit there and be punching bags for the criminals that you allow in the store. Allow security to further trespass people, meaning if they are trespassed and they get their picture, you're allowed to put their picture on a wall. And I do mean on a wall that shows who is allowed and not allowed in the store. So if your picture's on this wall, that means you're not allowed in the store. How are you going to further allow trespassing to be upheld if anyone who's there may not know who's trespassed and or why they're trespassed? Because if you haven't worked security before, and this is pretty much security across the board, if you are not a part of a trespass, right? If, like, let's say I trespass somebody. Now, let's say next day is my day off. The person I trespassed comes in. Doesn't matter if I trespass them. If I'm not there, they cannot be kicked out of the store. See how that works? Even though I, who work for the company, trespassed them. We filed the paperwork. We did a whole slew of it, right? Does not matter if I'm not there or if someone else who was a part of the trespass isn't there. That person's freely allowed to walk around the store and do whatever they want. Now, granted, usually when someone does that, it's never a positive thing because usually they're out stealing something, breaking something, threatening people, something along those lines. And all of those things have happened. So, how are you going to do it? One, like I said, allow your people to defend themselves. Okay? Literally have specific associates. You can literally send a letter to your associates, to your managers, so that the managers can go into their individual departments and say, hey, in a show of hands, who wants to go through some training? And this training is, by choice. You don't have to go through it. But if you do, it one allows you to defend yourself. It two allows you to carry a gun and act accordingly. But at the same time, it makes it, I don't want to say easier for you to get fired, but you have to make sure you go step by step and you know what you're doing, which is where the training comes in. Because the one thing that companies don't do is give their associates security style training, which is good ways to call out people who probably are doing something that they shouldn't be doing, such as what they look like. You can't even give someone's race anymore. You can't say, oh, black, white. You can't say Asian. You can't say Mexican. You can't say anything like that. You got to say their clothing or male or female, right? And I'm pretty sure that might have changed the whole male or female thing. But you have to give their general location and coloring of clothing and type of clothing, okay? Where they went, where they're heading, stuff like that. Also, de-escalation. That is a good thing to learn. And when you become a security professional, whether it's, asset protection, lock guard, security 88, whatever, you do learn de-escalation techniques, which should be taught to everybody in a store. That should be something that's taught. Not like, oh, hey, it should be one group of people who know how to de-escalate. No, the whole store should be taught how to de-escalate. The whole store. Because guess what you deal with working in retail? Karens. And sometimes the Karens are crackheads and or drunks or criminals who are just looking for a fight. Okay? Now, I brought up allowing your associates to carry a gun. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my god, no! Yes, they should. And it should be either open carry or concealed carry. I prefer open carry because it's there. Now, if you have open carry, you need to have a retention holster. Okay? Case in point. Something like this. Okay? See? Like, not coming out. I'm not even holding on to it. Retention holster. So this is a double retention holster. So you see this thingy right here? This is a magnet. This holds on to my gun. And then at the same time, right here, I have a little thumb thing. This prevents it from being pulled out. So even if someone were to come behind me and try to pull my gun out, right? Like let's say someone comes in right here, boop, boop, they can't pull it out unless they know about this little thingy right here. But at the same time, if someone's that stupid to get that close, they open up themselves to being elbowed in the face, right? So, case in point, let's say someone is stupid enough to try to grab my gun while it's on my hip, right? I'm going to stand up real quick. So, let's say my gun's right here on my hip. Let's say someone comes up from behind me, they grab my gun. I'm able to grab their hand with my hand, which then makes it impossible for them to pull my gun out. Which then allows me, let's say this is my free hand, right? I got my hand on there. Boom! Elbow to the face. So, learning self-defense techniques, easy ones, going through a self-defense course if need be, would be a good thing for a store to actually do. Because if a store is going to sit there and have you go through the same training that you've gone through every 3 to 6 months or every year or whatever it is, this company can put forth means to make sure that you're better protected. Now, of course, if they're going to allow their associates to carry a gun, they need to sign some paperwork, meaning they need to register the firearm with the company. Now, the thing is, this is the kicker. The company cannot give that registry to anyone at all but police when said event happens. So, let's say I'm working at the store or at a store or retail location, period, and I'm forced to draw my gun and shoot somebody, right? When that happens, that's when the district head of security is called. That's when the manager is called, and that is also when any and all information is given, such as make and model of the gun, the type of gun. So 9mm, SIG, M17. With that way, it's going to have my registry number, my name, and everything else on it. Okay. And then at the same time, they'll go, okay, this individual, okay, they went through the training. Okay. And then that's when they're going to go through it. So, did they try to de escalate the situation? Check. Did they try to, give the person the chance to walk away? Check. Did they actually, make sure that whatever was going on, such as, oh, were there anyone behind said individual or anywhere near the said individual that could have been hit? Check. Because the thing is, there are certain times and certain events where you need to be able to defend yourself. Because when criminals go into a location, they feel emboldened because they sit there and see a sign that says no guns. Okay, if you're going to have a sign that says no guns, there's going to be some good people who are going to go, fuck that, because guess what? There's criminals who don't follow the rules. But you shouldn't have to worry about the good people who go into your store, who work for you, or who shop with you, right? You shouldn't have to worry about them. It's the vagrants, the homeless, the drug addicts, those people. Those ones that you should be worried about coming into your store who are going to have different thoughts about what they're going to do in that store. Whether it's, I'm going to break some stuff, I'm going to hurt some people, I'm going to steal stuff, right? Whatever it may be. Now, of course, the only time something like this should be used is in a life or death situation, such as someone's running at you with a knife, not fists. Someone is threatening you with a gun, not fists. So yes, should there be training that's put forth to any individual who signs said paper? Yes. And then also, because when you join asset protection, they literally have you sign a paper a lot like this, right? That says, okay, hey, if you get assaulted, and it's proven that you escalated the situation, you get in trouble and you're probably going to get fired. Or, oh, hey, let's say you get assaulted, but, you didn't like de-escalate it, like to the point where you should have. So you'll just get punished and you won't lose your job, but you'll just like lose some hours and all this other kind of stuff. Something like that. Something like that would make it to the point to where someone goes, okay, I see this, I read this is a policy. I'm going to sign this, and now I'm acknowledging that I understand this, and I am totally fine with, okay, hey, if I do something stupid, I get in trouble. If I get hurt and it's on my own means, I'm not going to sue the store for me getting hurt. But at the same time, if any stores are not going to actually start putting this into effect, such as allowing any and all associates to defend themselves, it does not matter if it's security or not. If you're not going to allow your associates to defend themselves, eventually, there will be enough people who won't be able to work for you or who will refuse to work for you because they don't feel safe. Which, right now, if you haven't noticed, in 2020 to 2023 has been the worst time to work in customer service, anything. Whether it's fast food, retail, it does not matter. People are being assaulted, shot, robbed, raped, all sorts of stuff, all over the place. And retailers are a big issue because what are they not doing? Allowing their associates to defend themselves. So, 4 easy things that they can implement. Now, would they want to? It would be a good idea. Would they? Maybe not. But at the same time, if they want to keep their doors open and they want their people to feel safe, they're going to actually start implementing something like that. Because let me ask you a question, right? Within the last year, okay, why is it Walmart in general, right? Walmart is always on TV for some active shooter bullshit because they don't have armed security at their store. They have Security 88, they're not armed. They have AP, but they're not armed. And for the most part, don't really go hands on. I mean, yeah, they'll push people out of the store. They'll like, they won't throw them out, but they'll be like, "Hey, go." Right? But they are not allowed to defend themselves or do what they need to do as security. And when you have security, pretty much their hands tied behind their back and everything, then, eventually the criminal element is going to go, I can go in here every day, multiple times a day, steal whatever I want, and they can't do nothing. And a lot of these people are coming in droves. They're coming in with more than one person. Usually, back when I was asset protection, they would come in groups. One would come in one door, one would come in another door. One would literally pretend to be stealing, so our focus was on them, while the other one was actually legitimately stealing. Or they would do this one. One would start filling up a cart, and then the other one would go and grab that cart. And because they put nothing in that cart, guess what? Boom! They get away with it. Because guess what? Because you didn't see that other individual steal anything, you can't touch it. Which, even though considering you've been watching this cart the entire time, that has not been paid for, you should be allowed to stop it. But company policies, and I mean, this is more than one company, allow you to do nothing. They will force you to watch these people walk out an emergency exit. They will literally force you to watch these people walk out of the front door with a basket full of stuff that they didn't stop anywhere because where they were, there was no registers. But they could have went to a register, walked all the way back to the end of the store, and then walked out with all stuff unbagged. Right. No. But I digress, and that is exactly what retailers could do to actually help prevent and lower retail theft and also boost their associates' morale. Because most associates aren't going to feel too good about going to work if they have to go into a Walmart and, fix a whole lot of stuff that got broken or trashed. So now they're forced to throw everything away. And then at the same time, they're like, why am I working here? I'm probably going to lose my job because it's going to get shut down anyway. So I might as well look for a different job. Which then you start losing associates because they want to make sure they have a secure job. Because right now, with how the economy is, a secure job, whether it be $10 an hour compared to $20 an hour, they'll go for the 10 because it's secure. You catching my drift? So, you retail giants out there, Target, y'all stuck your foot in your mouth on that one, what you all did, and you know what you did. Bud Light, you all know what you did too. Walmart being the retail giant I'm mainly referring to, of the, oh hey, we're just going to lock stuff up and we're going to force our employees to carry a slew of keys to unlock everything, which is just going to piss off the customers. Because you got to look at it from a customer's point of view. Why am I going to sit in a line to get stuff unlocked to then just go sit in another line later on? See what I mean? They're going to have to wait in line to get one item, go into another line to get another item, into another line to get another item, and so on and so forth. A trip to the grocery store that used to take an hour is now going to take 5. That ain't going to fly. Most people are then just going to order stuff online through Amazon. Come on. Wake up. Wake up, retailers. Wake up. And until Lululemon allow people to start defending themselves or calling the cops, or places like Target or Walmart or Kroger or Albertsons or anything else out there that, should allow their associates to go through some training, sign some papers, and allow themselves to defend themselves and their associates and their customers. Nothing's going to change, and y'all are going to go out of business. So, unless you want to go out of business, you're going to have to change something, just saying. But that's it for this video. I hope everyone had a great 3-day weekend. I hope everyone enjoyed any barbecues, family fun, whatever, camping, fishing, hunting, whatever y'all be doing. Like, share, subscribe. Check out my paypal.me/Nicholas Sheldon. That's an uppercase N-I-C-K-O-L-A-S, uppercase SHELDON. All donations will go towards the channel, and that's for everything. That's gaming, shooting, planking, gun stuff, whatever. It all goes towards that. Anything's appreciated, so thank you. And thank you guys for subscribing to my YouTube, my Rumbles, my Twitches, and all that other kind of stuff. Links are all in my videos and all that other extra stuff. So, catch me for the next one. Later, guys.